Celebrate Mom for Mother's Day with help from Whole Foods Market. Whether you're treating her to brunch, dinner, or a nice gift, you'll find it all in one place. From May 10th through 16th, 15-stem bunches of tulips are on sale, just $9.99 for Amazon Prime members. Plus, shop 365 by Whole Foods Market for brunch staples on a budget, including smoked salmon, the mini quiche trio, and more. For dessert, pick up a heart-shaped cake from the bakery. Only the best for Mom at Whole Foods Market. Terms apply.
Today on CityCast Pittsburgh, confession time. When I first moved here, I had never been to a farmer's market. I grew up in a rural area. We had a couple groceries and a Walmart, and one farmer who sold vegetables to me and my grandmother in the church parking lot. The idea of vendors and customers was brand new to me, and I think I figured it out, but today I'm with someone who can help me and you make sure that we're navigating these food spaces the best way we can. It's Thursday, May 4th. I'm Megan Harris, and here's what Pittsburgh's talking about. I'm with Christina Howell, the executive director of the Bloomfield Market and the Bloomfield Development Corporation, which opens for the season this weekend. Christina, congratulations.
Thank you.
How's planning going? Are you all set, or is this more of an up-to-the-minute thing?
It can be up to the minute. It really can. We have, 30-some chances to get the event right through the year, so that helps. Yeah, opening this weekend through November. How did you get started with the market? Were you already in a food space, or like a lot of us, did you just sort of land there? I kind of landed there. I was on the board of the organization working in community development with another organization. When the board, we decided to see if we could take over a farmer's market in the neighborhood that wasn't doing well.
What kind of market would you say that Bloomfield is, or has become, during this 9-year tenure?
According to the Farmers Market Coalition, which is the National Farmers Market Advocacy Group, we are a flagship market, which means that they have categories.
It sounds
really
fancy.
Exciting. It is. That means that we draw from well beyond our smaller service area. So we pull folks in from other counties, not just vendors, but customers as well on a regular basis.
I saw something that listed Bloomfield as a growers market. What does that mean exactly?
It means that we strive to be a market where what you are buying is grown by the person who is selling it in terms of farmers and ranchers. Obviously, someone selling a pie isn't going to grow every piece.
Right. What would you say is the hardest part about coordinating it all? Because there's so many moving pieces.
Wow. I would have to say the site planning continues to be the hardest piece for every market manager I've ever worked with or for myself. It's just such a difficult task of folks want to be next to somebody they work well with and they like. They want to expand their business to more stalls. Somebody's leaving. We want to bring in new people.
So it's literally like the nuts and bolts of who is positioned where and where in the space, that kind of thing?
Yeah, who needs to be off of a slope because it'll affect how their eggs cook on their griddle.
What?
Yeah, all kinds of stuff that you don't think about. There's so many different things that we have to factor in.
One new feature I saw, or new to me feature at least, is a phone number I saw that is being talked about on Instagram at least, that folks can text if they experience harassment in the market. Is that something that has been happening for customers or vendors?
I think like any large public space, harassment is very possible at any given time. We know that we have had an instance, or maybe two, but either one, I know that anything that we've had reported to us, we've dealt with quickly. And our current market manager, Heather Hannes, really has brought an intersectional anti-racism, anti-bias lens to our market. And so she's really working on how to create a safe space that feels safe for people as well, isn't just safe. We want to make sure they know they have people behind them if they experience something, and if they don't want to out themselves about experiencing it this way, they can remain anonymous if they need to or want to.
Yeah. What's the mechanism then? What happens if someone texts the line?
It goes directly to the market manager, and she immediately starts thinking about what she needs to do to solve it. We will go to whatever vendor is the problem initially very quickly. But we want to also do it safely and make sure that we're not allowing anyone else to be targeted. So there have been instances where, we've thought maybe we should wait on something until the market ends. And then other things we haven't found out about until later. But as soon as we do hear about them, we do work through them.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like most everyone I know has had a really good experience at the Bloomfield Market. What would you say about the space brings you the most joy?
Oh my gosh. Just the people that come, all those people every week. So many different people coming out of the market, and everybody's so happy.
Happy because of the space, happy because of food, happy because it feels like there's some sense of normalcy after a pandemic.
Yeah, happy because there are people caring. We're trying to help the vendors and farmers and ranchers increase their sales through advertising, through caring, through bringing people in. They're making sure people feel safe and comfortable in our market so they want to come back. And then, things like adding seating or different nonprofits, like we're having Pigsburg Squealers come on May 13th, which is the second market.
Yeah.
They will have an adoptable pig at the market, and they're a pig rescue and adoption organization. And we are so excited to bring pigs to the market.
I can't wait to pet a pig.
I can't wait to spend my whole day with that pig.
This episode is brought to you by Certified Piedmontese Beef. Listen up, foodies. Make your next meal even better with real Nebraska beef. They have healthy, tender, delicious Italian heritage beef, grass-fed and sustainably raised on lush pastures in the Midwest. You can even create your own personally curated meat box that's shipped right to your door. To get 2 free steaks with any purchase over $50, use the code FREEBEEF at checkout. Learn more and shop exclusively at cpbeef.com.
Celebrate Mom for Mother's Day with help from Whole Foods Market. Whether you're treating her to brunch, dinner, or a nice gift, you'll find it all in one place. From May 10th through 16th, 15-stem bunches of tulips are on sale, just $9.99 for Amazon Prime members. Plus, shop 365 by Whole Foods Market for brunch staples on a budget, including smoked salmon, the mini quiche trio, and more. For dessert, pick up a heart-shaped cake from the bakery. Only the best for Mom at Whole Foods Market. Terms apply.
So I wanted to bring you a few questions that people might be too nervous or intimidated or embarrassed to ask on site. We're talking, of course, about the Bloomfield spot, but hopefully these suggestions would be applicable to any farmer's market. Are you ready?
Yes.
Is it okay to ask the farmers or vendors or ranchers questions?
Yes, absolutely.
Like if you're not sure what something is, like how would you politely ask maybe what a piece of produce is or how to use it?
I want everyone to remember that they are there because they want that direct interaction with the person that's buying it. So I would just ask, like, what is this thing? But yeah, no, they love to be asked questions about that stuff. I think all of them love to teach people about what they do.
Yeah. What if it seems like they're really busy?
I would still ask.
Okay.
They just might not have much time to tell you about it.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is, they can tell you real quick and maybe even have somebody jump in. A lot of our vendors do have employees that work with them, so they do have some help to help people jump in.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite icebreakers yourself?
I've never encountered a vendor that doesn't like sharing, but I'll usually ask them, what's your favorite easy way to enjoy this thing?
An easy way. I like that.
Yeah, because especially if it's something I'm not familiar with, I don't want like a huge multi-step recipe. Like I want something pretty simple that is going to be really hard for me to mess up.
Good call. So should you bring your own bags to the market?
We love it when people bring their own bags, and the city of Pittsburgh does have a bag ban legislation that
It's been floating
has
around
been,
for a while.
yeah. The implementation was supposed to happen in, I think, March or May, but that has been pushed back right now to October.
Mm-hmm.
But best that everyone just get in the habit now while we're at it.
Is there any right way or a right place maybe to get started within the market, like to navigate it?
Not really. Our market in particular has multiple different entrances all around the parking
Mm-hmm.
lot. But I think most markets have multiple ways in and out, and also don't often have great maps or lists of vendors. And one of those reasons is like we want you to go to our website and see the vendors that are on there. Click through, check their websites out. But also we want you to discover other vendors and people you might not. So part of the fun is a little bit of exploration those first few markets.
Yeah. Is there a particular way that you shop, like a product or a service that you go to first and then maybe check out something else? What's your expert take?
If I'm getting eggs or anything that could get ruined by being on the bottom of a bag, I get that last. So like, or I'll get it and set it aside somewhere, like go over to the information tent.
Yeah, I feel like waiting till it's last is brave because eggs and other things tend to go fast.
Yeah, and that's something you can do. You can always purchase it and ask the person to keep it behind their stand for a little bit while you finish shopping, or you could take it over to the information tent. There's almost always a booth by whomever is running a farmer's market. But you can almost always ask them if you can leave your stuff there while you shop. That's also great when you're buying like a watermelon that you fall in love with, and then you still have 10 places to go. And you don't want to carry this giant watermelon.
Absolutely. That's a good tip. I didn't know about that one. What about, because I know a lot of markets, of course, have like prepared foods, and even with produce, can you ask for samples if it's something you're unfamiliar with or, you want a taste of before you commit?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know that I've ever seen people deny samples unless it's something that really is hard to sample for someone, or it was during the pandemic when we actually didn't allow sampling then for those 2 years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I think most vendors want questions, want to teach you about it, want you to try it, because how else do you find out you really like something,
Yeah. What about paying? Is it important to have cash, or do vendors accept maybe WIC or SNAP on site?
Yeah, so paying, there's a lot of different ways to do it. So
I've heard.
most vendors do accept credit or debit cards for which they pay processing fees. So, cash is always going to be king, but realistically, we don't carry cash that much.
Yeah.
Many of our vendors, our farmers, do take WIC benefits and the senior farmers market program vouchers. And then all markets, I think in the city of Pittsburgh, if not in Allegheny County, take SNAP benefits. And then there's a SNAP matching program where for every $5 in SNAP benefits someone spends, they get $2 for free to spend on fruits or vegetables, produce.
Yeah. Well, and I guess kind of speaking to that frugality, is it appropriate to haggle in the market?
Generally speaking, the folks who come to the market kind of know what it's worth, and they are not there to make an enormous profit. Like they are putting it fairly low. This isn't like a big grocery store chain where an $11.50 head of cauliflower is ever going to happen, which we did see recently in a local grocery store.
Whoa.
It was wild. It was so expensive. We thought it was a joke. It was not a joke.
Oh, gosh. Are there any other big no-nos at the market, things that you should maybe not do if you want to be a good customer?
Keep your pet on a leash, even if it's a cat or a ferret or whatever. And if you do have a pet and they make a mess somewhere, pick it up or come and get our help, and we'll happily help. It's more hard when we step in something because we didn't know it's there.
Oh, I bet.
And I think the only other one is that we had a lot of people in the last year or two wanting to ride through the market on bikes or scooters or whatever. And it's super dangerous. We have strollers and, again, leashes and people with assistive walking devices and so any market, anytime, please walk all of your wheeled things. I feel like roller skates would probably be okay.
It's close to walking. I can see that.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions that you get asked all the time that we can help folks be ready for?
Our biggest question is, where is a specific vendor? If someone doesn't see them immediately, they're scared they're not coming back. And we're like, no, vendors have days off too. Like, it's okay,
totally.
They'll be back next week. But no, really, it's just about the location of where a vendor is.
Or if in Pittsburgh, I imagine probably where to park too. That's always top of mind for everyone.
Yes, we're really lucky that West Penn Hospital gives us the rental of the parking garage right next door. It's like 2 doors down. And so there's free parking in the parking garage while the market's open.
Oh, cool. I didn't realize that.
I know. It's hard to get the word out about that.
We're trying for you.
Thanks.
So when the doors open Saturday, doors, quote unquote, Saturday at 9 a.m., what's the first thing that you want to buy?
Oh my gosh. Probably, I think there's still going to be some asparagus. It's been cool enough. So I'm excited to see if anybody has asparagus. And I have everything I need except for kale for a pot of sausage kale stew. So I need kale. And probably I can't remember what it is. It's like the pumpkin seed bread from Mediterra Bread Company. That's my favorite bread.
Christina Howell is the executive director of the Bloomfield Development Corporation. The Saturday market opens this weekend. It's 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 5050 Liberty Avenue and runs through November. We'll have a link to this year's vendors in the show notes. Christina, I wish I had known you when I moved here, but thank you so much for helping us navigate our way through the market.
Sure, anytime.
A little more news before you go. Pittsburgh finally has a new police chief. Mayor Ed Gainey made the formal announcement yesterday, but I think we've all pretty much known since last week who it was going to be. Larry Scarrato worked in Pittsburgh for 23 years, eventually rising to assistant chief in charge of things like policy and training and internal investigations before he retired in 2018. It's what he did after that's a little more complicated. He still has a lawsuit pending in Fort Lauderdale. He was only chief there for a few months before he got fired. Those Florida officials lobbied discrimination allegations, saying he was inappropriately favoring minority candidates for promotions. He says all that is bunk and that they should have reinstated him. Here in Pittsburgh, City Council still has to approve him, but that's more a formality than a roadblock. I guess we'll see what comes next. And it's Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. We want to know what local businesses you're supporting. Send us your favorites to be featured in our Hey Pittsburgh newsletter and maybe even on the podcast. Email us at pittsburgh@citycast.fm. That's all for today here on CityCast Pittsburgh. We hope you're loving the show. If you do, please let someone else know. Rate us, leave us a review, and of course, make sure you're subscribed to that Hey Pittsburgh newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. And until then, may the 4th be with you.
I'm excited to eat my way through the market per usual.